Every day.
Every day.
Scared for America.
Me too. Sideshow America.
Brought to you by Bubbly.
Hello, folks. Kaka cuckoo. I got baby here. And because I like
The world
Gangnam Style,
is losing.
adult babies like Gangnam Style.
Just let him talk. Just let him talk.
Everybody likes Gangnam Style. The new Pops record of 2012. I'm going to do it now with this week on here, which has been school week, and we've just been happy on the mid-tides, and we'll do a Gangnam Style dance.
And that is the reason why you can't condone every fucking thing you want to do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sideshow America. Another great episode. And guess what? Today we still have technical difficulties. I will tell you, just so everyone knows my background, I do a lot of tech. I do a lot of tech mainly with audio, a ton with audio. That's my whole life. And a little bit with video. But I do enough with video. I can't believe every time we do this show, it's like something is like holding us back. I can do like a podcast or something else with my other projects. Never a problem. Never a problem. Never a problem with audio. Never a problem with video. Never. Every time we sit down in this godforsaken room, man. Every time.
Yeah. It's like something doesn't want us to put this out.
So if you guys are going to stick it out, we appreciate you. We appreciate you because we are in limited time and we can't just sit here and do tech all night long. But that clip we just now saw, that is an older clip. But it just makes me think of what's going on in the country right now. I just think the insanity in our country, and obviously this guy was British. Oh, let's just say all over the world. Let's quit picking on America. But I think the acceptance of insanity in the world today is being exposed. We are accepting far too much insanity. I don't know. You were looking at that, and it looked like you had a fetish you were starting to develop there.
No. I was just thinking, what the hell? What have we let happen? This is why you can't condone everything and let people do whatever they want, you know? I mean, you need some control in this thing.
Control? Are you a Democrat?
No. We need to not let shit like this happen. That's what I'm saying.
And how do we stop that, though? How do we...
we can stop celebrating mental illness would be my thing. You know, stop celebrating it.
So you're saying this is more of a private thing?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a story. This is how we're going to start off the show. Is the mental illness and the celebration of mental illness. I have done so many things to try to survive, live, and make money, but I have worked with mentally challenged for over 20 years. And I'm probably going to have people that know me watch this hate me, but I had a love-hate relationship with it because I felt, before I offend people, I felt for the families and I felt for the individuals that had mild mental retardation and fetal alcohol syndrome. There are some disabilities I will leave out because I feel like it's not so much a mental illness. But I felt like society, the government, the world was giving too much to them. And I remember thinking it's probably about 2011, 2012. I had witnessed so many things within that community and the way our company handled stuff. And I thought, are we going too far with accepting this? And what I mean by accepting it is we're supposed to be teaching them to be independent. We're supposed to be encouraging them to, I'm trying to be funny about this, but at the same time, this is reality, not shit themselves, and for them to be able to overcome their cognitive disabilities, which will never happen. A lot of parents think this miracle is going to happen, and anybody's watching that's got someone with fetal alcohol syndrome or mental retardation, guess what? They're like that for life. But I thought, are we going too far with how much we give these people? And I mean, I'm not just trying to pick on those with disabilities. I'm just saying where my head was coming from, because that's when, I want to say around that time was when they were starting to fight about the transgender thing. It wasn't as strong as it is now. It's nowhere near it. But, you start to see there's this guy with mental retardation tearing up his house, and the state keeps giving him money to get his TV. And they're trying to train him not to tear up the house, and you have all these people that have all these solutions, and none of them work because for 10 years this guy's not learning not to tear up the house. And then, you see people at the welfare office that don't seem to get their self together. When someone has a problem with drugs or out of prison, there's a lot of programs, a lot of people are constantly trying to help them, and they sacrifice good things or healthy things to be able to help these individuals. And I'm not saying I'm against helping these individuals. I'm not saying I'm against accepting strange ideas. But I think where I'm coming from is are we going too damn far with this? Are we going too far with how much we accept mental illness and mental disabilities? And I know like I said, I know a lot of people, this is a touchy subject. They're going to get pissed at you. But we have a problem in our country where everything is about the underdog. Everything. So the things that are flourishing, that you want to be successful, stuff in the family, stuff at jobs, it can't flourish because we constantly got to stop stuff for these people that seem to have these mental illnesses, these mental disabilities. You can't see anything mean. You can't have, if you have birthday parties, the whole birthday party has to stop for the kid that shits himself. If you have a martial art class, you have to slow it down to be able to adhere to somebody with Down syndrome. And again, I'm not putting them down. I'm not saying they shouldn't have programs, but why does all of society and all corners have to slow down for these people? And again, I'm not picking on people with disabilities, but the mental illness thing does go along with it. Well, I mean, I don't know your opinion on all that.
Well, my opinion on it, is I think it kind of started back with the No Child Left Behind when they started making that law, to teach for the slowest kid in the class, which you have to teach the slow kids too, Not saying slow and stupid. I'm just saying the ones that aren't as intelligent as the rest of the class, you have to kind of bring the class down for them.
But you're not talking about the slow kids like Biden means, like where he says the slow kids are just as bright as white kids. You mean like just all slow kids? Doesn't matter. Asian,
all slow kids,
Mexican,
any
black.
kind of handicap.
So anyone that gets offended saying we're being racial, we're not. We don't mean it like Biden meant it.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing to do with that. Just, I think that's part of it. And you have these people on TikTok that are kind of doing a disservice to the people with real mental issues. I'm a 45-year-old man and I want to shit myself and be in diapers. I want to act like a mental patient even though I'm not. And it kind of takes away from the people that have real disabilities. And now we celebrate the people that poop themselves, and you can't make fun of them or you're a bully, it just, where does it stop? How much do you give in to these people kind of on the fringe? They don't really have a handicap, but they're pretending they do, and they want us to think that that's okay.
Well, my thing is, okay, say I do have a handicap. How far do you go with it? Like, for example, I really hate talking about the disabled community because I actually do have a heart for them, but I do think we go too far. I do because, for example, some of these guys I worked with, like this guy would keep tearing up his house, tear holes in the apartment, and he kind of knew what he was doing, but he also knew he could get away with it.
Yeah.
So like, I know those group homes, there's no really easy answer for that, and I guess I'm not here looking for a solution for it, but I think at the same time, isn't it okay if you have a business, I'm not comfortable with this guy coming in here just like a baby. It's, isn't it okay to be like, hey, I worked hard to have this birthday party for my son, our family's been through a lot, I don't feel like entertaining your kid that has all these disabilities that gets violent. And, or you have a birthday party, I don't really want your son that's confused about his gender at my... Why is that wrong that people are making that choice? And the thing is, now this is going to offend a lot of people and say, you can't say that, you can't talk like that. But you can make... The thing about America is you can make a choice. Like, why would I... If someone doesn't like me because I have dreadlocks, you think you're black. I don't like people who think they're black. I don't want to go to your birthday party to begin with.
Yeah. Well, this is America. You're still allowed to have an opinion, aren't you? You're still able to make that choice on what you want and what you don't want. I mean, that's a big deal. You should be able to not invite who you don't want to invite. If you have a restaurant and you don't like certain people, that's all right. This is America. I think if we have to accept all these changes in gender and all these people believing they can be something else that they're not, you have to accept me and my ways. If I don't want you in my restaurant, you're not welcome in my restaurant. You have to accept that. If I have to accept you, you have to accept me.
See, and that's, I guess that's where I'm coming from, is accepting all these, everyone wants to be diverse, right? What is that coexist? But that's another thing I hated when everyone wants to get along and coexist, is I feel like if you want to be accepted, you have to accept people that aren't understanding and accepted. Like, we're all supposed to accept each other. Well, if you want to be accepted as a homosexual, you're going to have to accept those that don't like homosexuality.
Exactly.
That's the problem with this whole transgender, I want to dress up like a baby and shit myself and have the world accepted issue. I have always had a problem with religious people. I grew up religious. I could quote stuff. Right now, I almost want to quote religious stuff.
I'm recovering Catholic myself.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to sit at a table with Mormons, and I know Mormons are probably watching me right now, and hear them pray to Jesus about the food. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Sometimes my dad will start preaching to me. I don't want to hear it. I have good reason to. I have some horrible, horrible, horrible stories about religious people, and religious people need to be shamed when they go that direction. But I feel like where we're going now, where we're shoving it down people's throats, you have to accept Tommy because Tommy thinks that she is a boy. You have to be careful what pronouns you use. You have to accept this weirdo that dresses like a baby. To me, that's the same thing as what happened to me and most of us watching this with religion. I don't want the Bible taught in school, and I know a lot of people will, be upset. The Bible needs to be taught in school. Why? School is about learning skills.
Well, and isn't there the whole separation of church and state? Isn't that kind of what America was founded on?
And I think I know the transitions, man. But I think one reason with church, I know a lot of religious people argue this about church and state. But let's be clear about something here. Everybody has a different idea what God is. This is one reason why I don't believe it should be taught in school. It has nothing to do with me being an atheist. I'm not picking on Christians. Pentecostals do not want Mormons' ideas. Mormons do not want Baptists' ideas. They all think they're right. They all think they're correct. And you know what? I'm sure somebody is. Right. I'm sure somebody is. I'm not even going to say anybody's wrong. I'm just saying this is one reason why I believe there is a separation. A lot of people argue this atheist thing, and I don't think it has anything to do with atheism. I mean, cult. They're cults. These are cult ideas. And I'm not even picking on the Bible. I'm leaving that out of it. I want to be careful being preachy. I'm not going to talk about Jesus or religion, but most buildings are cults. Most ideas are cult ideas. This transgender thing is a cult idea. BLM is a cult idea. Most Mormon churches are a cult idea. This is why school should just be about school. It shouldn't be about prayer. It shouldn't be about what's your gender. It shouldn't be about what sexuality are you. These are cult ideas. And if you want to be in a cult, more power to you. I'm not against cults. I'm really not. If you're going to give yourself marriage is a freaking cult.
Yeah, there's a lot of cults out there, Well, definitely religion. You have to say that. But yeah, which one do you teach in school? If you're going to teach them, you teach Christianity, Catholicism. What about the Muslims? You teach their stuff. That's going to piss off the Catholics. So you kind of probably shouldn't teach any of it. Just teach the kids math, teach them English, teach them things they don't know, stuff they'll need when they get out. It's kind of the helpful stuff. If you want religion, find it on your own on Sunday. But school's kind of not the place for that.
And if you're confused about your gender, why is school the building for that?
Yeah. Why are teachers able to kind of pressure the kids into what they should believe? I don't know. They didn't used to be able to do that in the old days. As a teacher, you taught the kids. That was your job. You didn't bring your religions and your opinions and talk about if you were gay or straight or bi or trans. It didn't matter. Why does anybody care about that? You're a teacher. Your job is to teach. And that's my thoughts on it anyway. You start taking away the diversity. If everyone thought the same, we lack diversity. There's no more diversity. Like we're all the same. Who wants that? I personally like being able to go to a Mexican restaurant and having Mexican food, Chinese restaurant having Chinese food. If we're all the same, there's one kind of food, and who likes that?
Would that apply to marriage?
Yes. Yes,
Like
it will.
why some people only married for so many years, it's just it's time for the Asian girl.
Well, maybe a starter wife.
It's
you
time
know.
for starter wife. Starter wife is that the stripper's facial tattoos? You got pregnant and you busted her ass out and gave her stretch marks. And sorry, people, I had to throw a joke in there. This is not exactly a conservative talk show.
Right.
My stance is I don't know if I'm in the I don't know where I'm at. I will say I became very fond. I don't want to be careful getting off the subject, but I became very fond of Trump and the conservatives the last few years because it was liberal, it was Democrat, and my side went freaking nuts. It's just, sorry, distortion, but my side went freaking nuts. We went insane. We absolutely went insane, and I didn't even know what to say. Like when you start accusing your own people of homophobic and racist, that's another issue. We're gonna get off on something else. I don't want the show to be all over the place today. But where I was gonna go with all this insanity, and again, I want to be careful with this subject because I don't have anything against people with disabilities. Because again, most of my best friends have cerebral palsy. Okay, they do, and I actually don't have a big problem with the gay community. Or the drag community. I'm going to be honest, I don't. But the cult thinking that they're pushing, I think it's disgusting what they're pushing on the kids. Again, I don't want my daughter pushed into religion. I'm raising like there's one side of the family pushing her into Mormonism. I actually pulled her out of even a homeschooling program because I don't want her pushed with this gender thing. I think this thing where both sides are pushing ideas on people is absolutely ridiculous. Which I found a video we're gonna watch because you like the stuff I find.
Oh yeah.
And it's about drags and kids. Okay. So
before I have one question while you're getting that ready now.
yes.
If I have a friend who identifies as a male who sleeps with a male who identifies as a female, does that make him gay?
You want to know? I don't know how to answer that because I have a question too.
No?
I have a question too. So we're talking about religion and transgender and gays. Okay, nothing's safe in this room. This might answer your question because when I was a kid, and I was going to church and I was trained to be a youth leader. Imagine that. Anyone can be a preacher nowadays, or back then. I'm getting old, but the girls would either take it in the ass or give oral, and some of them would talk about how they were, thankful that they didn't go all the way because they would have lost their virginity.
And they're still pure. Yeah.
So my thing, that thought process is technically, under those rules, gays, lesbians, and homosexuals, you guys are all virgins, and technically you don't exist. Technically, those are the saints.
Huh. Okay. So that
Tell me I'm wrong.
you just answered my question.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Technically, he's not gay. He didn't have sex with
Technically, they're
anybody.
both still virgins.
Huh.
Well, maybe it depends on what they did before that. So
Yeah.
never mind. That's technically they didn't have sex. Because I've had girls that cheated on me that they were like, oh well, it was it was just oral. It's just oral and a hand job. So I mean.
Well, and see, that brings me to the next question. If that's that, then if the same friend that identifies as a male has sex with the female that identifies as a 12-year-old, is he a pedophile?
I wish I had that video up. That's another episode. Because I wonder about these people that dress up like children and have their diaper changed and the kinks, and they say it's not a sexual thing, but it's...
But it kind of is. If your girl thinks she's 12 and you're doing things with your girl, that kind of makes you a pedophile.
Like I said, man, that's what this show's about today, mental illness. Like we are, man, like...
It is
I just, like, how do you deal with that? Honey, like, come home, like, I was kind of wondering, like, I've been thinking about it, and I bought a diaper from eBay, and I thought we could have some fun tonight. Like, how do you approach your lover with that?
And what kind of fun are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, what kind of person are you? And see, if I was that guy, I'd be terrified. I'd be like, okay, because you're not going to win. Either she's got an issue that you need to deal with if you say yes. Okay, let me think. This is going to get deep, people. This is going to get deep. Or she's tricking you. Because if you say yes to it, then you're a sick son of a bitch.
She's checking to see if you're one of them MAPS people.
Yeah, maps.
Oh.
Maps. Yeah, that's bringing us into our next segment, man. Maps. I really do believe that we are grooming our children. I think we're trying to open up the doors for pedophilia. I do. I really truly do. For those of you that haven't been keeping up with the news, Target. Did you see in the news with Target? They're slowing down their inventory because they have too much inventory, and I say bull crap. They say because it's just they're really doing good on their supplies. I think it's because they are one of the first stores. This happened during the Obama administration where they had the transgender bathroom, so male and females can go in the same bathroom, and they have a clothing line where you can tuck in your wee, and I believe I don't want to say this is an actual fact. I don't know if it's for kids, teens, and adults, or just teens and adults, but they also have tops that flatten out the breasts. So I think what happens is people are finally done with them. That's what I think, and I think the media doesn't want to throw it out there because the media is trying to brainwash us with this transgender and this transgender idea. I was gonna say cross-dressing, but that's completely different. That's not even the same thing. And I just want to stick up for us. I don't know how you feel about transgenders. I just want to say before we get hate mail and people judge us, and I'm going to defend both sides on this, conservatives and liberals, but I feel like a man that really is confused and wants to become a woman, or a woman that really wants to become a man, and they do it, and they're kind of secretive about it, they're kind of ashamed about it, embarrassed, and they just want to get it done and over with and be relieved. Who cares? Yeah. Knock yourself out, have fun. I'm going to be honest, and this is going to piss people off. It's the mutants. It's the ones that want to be 400 pounds, have a big beard, and they're mad at you for calling them the wrong pronoun. And I saw a video today, and I tried to get it in time for our show, where they were talking about my pronoun is they and it. And when we were younger, if you call someone transgender they or it or use those pronouns, you got the crap beat out of you because that was hate speech. And now they're telling us we have to talk like that.
Yeah, you can't call someone it.
It's absolute insane. It's absolute insanity. And the transgender, their side of things is they're trying to hate people. And what I like to do, educate, is like you have thousands of years of the language we've used, and then just even a few years ago, this was considered hate speech, but now we have to use the speech to get along with you. And it's just magically we're supposed to, again, people with disabilities, people with mental illness, the whole world's supposed to just function the way they do.
Hey, I'm still confused about the they, them. How does one person go to being multiple people, they, them? You can't be a they, them if you're just one person. Now, if you had your friend with you, then you could be they or them if someone was talking about you. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me and English. School was different when I was growing up. We actually taught the kids. So
what do you call two transgenders riding in a car?
What?
Them.
Oh.
They are going places.
They are going places.
That was stupid, wasn't it?
Look at them over there.
And if you're still watching, God bless you.
God bless the dad jokes.
So, here we go, man. This is something I wanted to show all of you guys. Our children being indoctrinated. This is actually about 4 years old. But see, you can see where this is. They're trying to bring this in. They're trying to bring this in. They've been doing this for a long time. And they got behind us and did it. And we allowed it. Those of us that say we hate it, it's our fault. Yep. We allowed it because we allowed shit like this to happen. What's that old
song? I can see your beard.
So here we go, man. This
you
is
can see
awesome.
my beard? Oh, no.
This should be more like Meet the Drag Queen.
I would.
Look how glitchy it is. I'm sorry, guys. The text sucks.
What's your name? Miko? I'm Isabella. What's your name?
Kristen.
This is how sincere he is. Just like Santa Claus.
How are you doing?
He's comfortable.
Oh. Every time we do this show, people, I swear, I don't even know what to do with myself anymore. Do you know what to do with yourself anymore?
How are you doing?
No, but I know what I am.
Good. Are you nervous?
Yes.
How come? Do I look scary?
Look at the way he's sitting. He's like, get the
Do you know what I
hell
am?
away from me.
No. I'm a drag queen. Have you ever heard of a drag queen before?
Is drag queen, is that the same as a dragon?
A drag queen is someone who expresses themselves
Drag racing.
creatively through performance. So
See, it's just-
dress up in
these artists,
wild costumes,
artists,
big wigs, crazy makeup.
I need
and
to
then get on
express
stage and
myself. I
perform
was
and
waiting for
entertain people.
express yourself.
And
What?
I
What does this
don't
mean?
find your speech.
Express yourself.
You feel
Like
like,
what?
a woman, let it out.
Like, you look like you would speak in a different way,
Yeah?
She's
but
trying
now
not to
you're
offend her.
speaking.
He's scared. He's like, don't hurt
so
me.
now
You're bigger than me.
I know we're a boy.
I'm a boy.
Here.
You're right. I'm a boy. I'm a boy.
Wait,
You didn't think I was a boy?
I've been thinking.
You thought I was a girl?
I've been thinking.
No, I'm a
you're
boy. How do you feel about that?
A little bit weirded out, but like a little interesting.
Interesting? It's a lot to think about.
Do you always dress up as a girl?
Not always, only when I'm performing. I usually live most of my life in jeans and a t-shirt and a backwards ball cap.
That's really cool. So you're gay?
I am. Good question.
Did you curl your eyelashes?
I did. I use an eyelash curler. But
So I mean,
Wow.
we'll watch more. We got to throw some statements in there on everything we just saw. I just kind of skimmed through this video, and there's so many things I want to say about this, and I'm going to have people hate me. And you know what? I don't care. I want to observe it because there's a cult being pushed. And before anyone accuses me of being racist or transphobic, I feel like they're trying to create a problem that's not there and pit people against each other, which probably we shouldn't talk about it because it creates more hate. But if you notice, they have the transgender in there. Not transgender. Sorry, I know cross-dresser is different. You can be gay or straight being a cross-dresser. I'm sorry, I got transgender on the brain. Maybe because I'm curious. Anyways, but if you notice, we have minority children.
Oh, yeah.
We have the white kid with rainbow colors. Later on, you'll see in this video where the kid says that dad would kick him out of the house. I don't know if you remember seeing that or not. We'll see that here in a minute. And what I'm seeing is indoctrination. What I'm seeing is preparing people, because what happens is they throw this stuff out there. And then 2020 happens when we rattle things up and we can lock people in their homes and have them glued to their television. Because that's what it was. COVID was just a scam. I don't believe COVID was this chemical warfare thing and a thing for the government to get control. I think they wanted to hurt us into a place where we could be brainwashed. We could be brainwashed about racism.
Well, if
we could
that's
be
true.
brainwashed about what's going on in the world, what's wrong with the world, so we can bring in, so we can call each other transphobic, so we can call each other, racists. So if you notice, we have these videos with minority children and our cross-dressers, and we're having good, innocent fun, and then we're going to point out the evil people that don't want to have fun, the evil people that don't want to be in the cult. Oh, man, there it is. Look at that. Tell me I'm wrong. On this. So, I mean, just my point on this is I just feel like this was a setup. I feel like the whole thing the last few years has been a setup, and now they're just going crazy with it. They're just going wild with it.
Well, I kind of think, why are you even talking to young kids about that anyway? These kids aren't old enough to know their sexuality or what a drag queen is or isn't. I mean, isn't that something you kind of figure out later in life? Pre-teens, teenage era is when you find that stuff out. I mean, these kids know what gay is already. I remember when I was younger, we didn't even use that. Like back in my day, you could use gay as an insult. Nowadays, you don't. But back then, you called somebody gay, it was kind of making fun of them, whether they were or not. But we didn't really know what it was until our teen years. I wasn't 9 years old running around saying, "Hey, you're gay, you're gay." I didn't know what the hell that was.
Well, like now, you can't say this. Like man, the problem having with tech on our show is gay. Me being glitchy is gay.
Well, you could say it. You just got to pay for it now. Now they're going to come after you and keep saying stuff like that, But really, these kids, why are we brainwashing them at this? Well, I guess that's why. at an early age. They're moldable. This is the time when they listen and they retain the information. So you might as well push your agenda on them.
Well, see, here's my thing. I do think there's a culture war, and I do think we're going to win it. I think we're going to kick their ass. But here's the problem. Probably 2 generations from here, we're screwed. They're not going to have to put up a fight. No. They're not. They're just going to come on in. I never watch TV. I'm not connected to the world other than the internet. That's it. I'm a sheltered person. The world scares me. Actually, I'm not sheltered. I'm right in the middle of everything. That's why I want to decide to do this show. But I don't know if you've been seeing on got everything on Roku. Everything on Roku is just gay.
No, well,
everything on YouTube is gay
Netflix,
because it's gay pride. And again, I'm not saying I'm against gays. Okay, I want to be clear on this. I've worked with gays. There's a lot of gays I still work with. I don't even like saying gays. I don't like separating us from them. But there is a separation they are trying to push, and they're trying to indoctrinate, and they're trying to point us to a different reality. They're trying to point us to a different reality, and I don't like it. When I say they, yes, they. The elites. This is probably something we're going to be censored for. Just get ready.
The elites.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have people coming into our studio and but because it weakens a nation. I'm sorry, it weakens a nation because not everyone can have a disability. Not everybody can be gay. There has to be some strong people to keep things going.
Well, that's how it is nowadays. Every show on Netflix, anyways, a lot of their stuff, there's always the gay friend, the lesbian friend, the black friend, the Mexican friend, the Asian friend. There's one of every archetype, stereotype, whatever you want to call it, and it's kind of, they're force feeding that stuff to you, and the world just doesn't exist like that. I mean, I'm friends with some gay people, but not everybody's gay. Not every girl's a lesbian. Not every big jock, is secretly in the closet gay or trans, but on TV and the shows, that's what they show. That's the reality of it. And it's just not that way. So...
And I'm going to throw a religious thing in there too. Not everyone's religious.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that aren't. So
see, let's continue with our buddy here. I think we got awful about that one, man. But Isabella, yeah, man. You remember that really well. You did.
Your previous question. I am gay. Oh. I came out of the closet when I was 21 years old.
What's coming out of the closet means?
Coming out of the closet means when you tell everybody that you're gay. It's something that gay people have to do.
Do you have to be gay to do drag?
No, anybody can do drag. Drag is for anybody and everybody who wants to put on a fun costume and get up on stage and entertain people. Everybody should try drag at least once.
See, I feel like what I'm learning today is pretty fun. Does that make me drag?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few kids that are starting to do drag.
Do dogs do drag?
Do dogs do drag? I mean, they can. You can dress a dog up in a dress and take them on stage with you.
So... why did you want to get to be a drag queen?
Why did I want to be a drag queen?
Or what's your inspiration?
Great questions. I first went and saw a drag show and thought it was really fun. And so I started playing with makeup and wigs and costumes and things, and then started performing and just fell in love with performing. I love being on stage. I've been a singer my entire life. Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
What do you like to sing?
I like to sing Moana.
Moana? What about you? Do you like to dance?
A little.
A little? Just a little bebopping?
I like to do this dance called the floss.
What's that?
Like this.
Oh, the backpack kid dance. Yeah. It's called the floss?
Yeah, because it looks like you're flossing your teeth.
Oh, I get I'm into it.
It's like you're
Where did you get this
flossing your ass.
This dress?
I was going to say at the God, what is it called? The bathhouse.
Bathhouse?
Yeah,
the bathhouse.
It is. Everything that I wear, I refer to as a costume.
Like Halloween?
It's kind of like Halloween every day. That's what I get to do for my job, is Halloween every day.
So that's what I'm talking about indoctrination, man. They're just like, it's like Halloween. It's not like Halloween, man. It's just...
Are your eyeglasses real or fake?
Oh, they're definitely fake. I glued them onto my eye.
She's right through him.
Glued?
Yeah.
What about the gems over there?
I glued those on too.
What about the lipstick?
The lipstick I just painted on.
Paint?
Yeah, and then I tapped glitter into it.
Little.
Yeah, glitter. I like everything to sparkle a little bit. I say if you're not sparkling, you're not trying. Right? Do you ever wear sparkly things?
Not really.
Not really? How come you don't wear anything sparkly?
Because I think some people at school make fun of me.
Well, those people, their opinions aren't important.
Do people ever make fun of you?
Okay,
When I was younger,
right
people
there,
did.
man, right there. I gotta
kids do
stop.
that.
I gotta
Kids
stop
can
right
be
there.
mean.
Here we
There's
go.
been
I was looking
times that I've
for the
encountered people
weakness in this
that weren't
argument,
quite as
and the
nice.
damn thing won't
And
turn
weren't-
off. There we go. Finally paused. Okay, here's my weakness in their argument. Their opinions don't matter. What they want doesn't matter. So that's so many millions of Americans' argument right now. They just don't want to be bothered with the drag queens. They don't want to be bothered with transgender. They don't want to be bothered. So why does how come we can have an opinion? It doesn't matter when they have an opinion. We have to.
Yeah, we have to listen to it.
We have to listen to it.
Forced down our throat.
Because I guarantee we're gonna get hate messages and hate email.
Well,
and we're just like, I'm gonna listen to what the drag queen said. Your opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's why. I really feel like one reason why there's a culture war is we're trying to force everybody and everything to get along. I think that's part of the problem. I think if you let people have a straight bar, you let people have a gay bar, I think people are fine with that. I think people are perfectly fine with that. I think it's when you're trying to like push everybody and shove them together and be like, you have to do this and you have to accept this. I think that's somebody's messing me up. So I don't know who that was looking through the window. But anyways, yes, we have random strangers. But that's just, I think that's what's forcing people to have. Let me tell you something. If you don't want white people in your neighborhood, I think that's fine. I think you can go to a store with white people and you're fine. And I think if you don't want to live in the same house as them, I think that's okay. I think us forcing that you have to get along makes people fight more. You have to get along. You have to go to church. You have to pray. You have to go. If you want this girl, you have to be baptized in the Mormon church. Hey. It makes people grumpy. Oh, you have to accept this gay person. And the thing is they're so upset about it, and you may never see the person that you're mad at that's not accepting that you're gay. You may never see again in your life. And you have like tons of people that love you.
Well, and it's kind of like I said earlier. You know, if you have to accept them and all their things that they do, they have to accept that there's closed-minded people out there that don't want to accept them. I mean, that's kind of life, America. That goes back to the diversity. We have a bunch of different people here that like a bunch of different things, and you can't just group everyone together. You know, if straight people have to be okay with trans people have to be okay with straight people. I mean, you can't have it both ways. If my opinion doesn't matter, your opinion doesn't matter, right? It's America. It's kind of how it goes. Respect's a two-way street. I look at your views, you look at my views. If we don't agree, that's fine. Don't talk to me. I won't talk to you. But that's about it.
See, that's my problem too. God, you just can rant on forever and ever. This glitchy, stupid camera just worked fine last week. The transgender rant on if you don't date a woman that's trans, you're transphobic. I'm just gonna stick up for the trans side of that. You're right. That person's transphobic. Why in the hell would you want to be in a damaging, abusive relationship with them?
Yeah. Why would you want to make them?
If they're proving themselves to you, what's the problem? That's what I'm saying. We're splitting hairs and wanting to pick fights over stupid stuff. I'm not even trying to pick on trans right now. I guess I almost want to be on their side right now and just say, look at your argument. Look at your argument. You're trying to force a bunch of people that are assholes, that are closed-minded, to see things your way, that once you become friends with them and great friends with them, you're going to have to put up with their shit.
Yeah.
If they don't like you and they're prejudiced, thank you. You get a gel, what is it? How's that term go? Get out a free gel card. Huh. You don't have to deal with their shit. You can move on and go on with your life and be around people you can actually enjoy. There's almost like this thing of I got to prove myself to everybody I see and everything I do in order to be justified for me living right now.
And most people don't care. Most people don't care about what you do in your off time, what you think you are. That's the problem, is telling us all about it. Like the whole world has to care. You're transitioning. Nice. That's great. Yeah. but move on. You know, you don't have to brag and shout it from the rooftops. Nobody really cares. You know, it's not as big of a deal as you're making it seem to be. Yeah.
Well, it's a shame. Because sometimes some of them when they transition, they look pretty good. I don't know if you know who Blair White is. They look pretty good. They make a good looking woman. Actually, I'm just joking. They don't.
Well, maybe in that reference to the guy that didn't want to date a trans woman or trans man or whatever trans, and he was transphobic. Well, maybe he just didn't like his chicks with dicks. That's all. Maybe he liked his women normal, with normal. What am I saying here? You know, just the normal.
So look, they're pulling you into it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, what do I say? What's a normal woman?
What do I say?
What's a normal woman? Wait, what is a woman? I mean, I'm not trying to copy Matt Walsh right now, but that is a pretty good question. What is a woman?
That's good. I've seen him trip up girls when he asks them that question. What is a woman? Well, the opposite of a man.
Says you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. How do you define woman?
Better check out the goods. Make sure makes you a woman.
Send in the scouts.
Send in the
theory.
scouts.
Send in the scouts.
I want to see photos.
It's your recon mission. Now you know. All right.
I'm sorry.
Just thought of Nico going to Thailand.
Oh, that Thailand. Well, I mean, all in all, because I'm going to offend people, I guess the point I'm trying to make is where some conservatives are coming from an angle where they want to eliminate it. I guess I don't want to eliminate. I just want people to go live and do what they want to do. Yeah. I really do. I mean, I'm actually down with what Jordan Peterson says. I'm down with Matt Walsh. I am totally on their side of things. But I also, like anyone that I run into that you can tell is transgender, it's obvious, and they just want to be left alone. We get along just fine. It's the teenagers that come in and say, I'm non-binary. I'm like, no, kid, we got to talk. This is insane. And again, to go back to the beginning point of the show, is we are accepting too much insanity in this country. There used to be a time, if you had depression, you would just take care of it by yourself and go to a therapist. There was a time, if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, you would go take care of it yourself. And yes, you would suffer on yourself. Instead of you and all your friends suffering together, there was times if you're bipolar, the only people that would suffer was you and your husband or you and your wife. And of course, the kids. And I don't understand why the whole world needs to suffer with you. Again, that's a mental illness. You have to be, because I have a problem, you have a problem too.
Well, maybe it goes back to the old saying, misery loves company. You know, if I'm going to be put out, so are you. You know, if I got to deal with this crap, you do too.
Is that why we get married?
I think so.
Is that?
We don't want to be miserable by ourselves, so it's easier with somebody else.
Yeah, it's easy. You start an argument. Let's make our relationship valid by arguing and then making up. Make sure it still works. So let's break it down and build it back up. Yeah. Oh, we're strong.
Hey, sometimes you're bored. You're bored and you just want to fight for no reason.
But see, that's what I feel like is going on with the mental illness right now in the country. We're just bored.
Yep.
We've done everything. We've created great music. We've had great wars. We've made the greatest movies. And now we're bored. What do we do now? What do we do now it's over? I don't know. It's literally we're playing with our dicks, figuring out what to do with it. I don't know.
It looks like a dick, but I feel like a woman today.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we should just
figure something out.
Maybe everything great's been done. Maybe everything great has been done if you think about it. Maybe there's Playboy's been done. Penthouse. Instagram, man, some of the girls on Instagram, holy crap, greatest breasts ever. So the greatest things have been done. So maybe it's time, what are we doing?
I know. Get the 45-year-old to wear a diaper and shit himself.
There we go. There's entertainment right there. Get a diaper, shit yourself, and be a non-binary unicorn.
Get a girlfriend who believes she's a cat.
See, that's what meow, 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 Miss Meow, meow. Yes. We're just bored. We're just bored.
Right. That's why we got all this crazy stuff going. It's the fringes. We got to hit the fringes now. Now that we've done all the basic stuff, you got to go to the outlying fringes and find everything. Find the things that aren't done.
Find the things that aren't done, like learning how to vote. Let's not pass up our last segment tonight. This is more of a rant, and this is your problem, not mine. So the city I live in, the city we live in, let's just be honest, okay? I'm going to need your help on this one, okay? So during COVID, and I think everyone across the country has experienced this, when you had these cities and these stupid governors and these mayors shutting down everything on the planet, everybody had to leave their homes. And I just want to remind these people, okay, before, because our elections are coming up, are you going to vote the same way you did in the place that you left? Are you going to spread the virus that destroyed your cities and your towns, and are you going to carry it into other towns? That's what I would like to know, because I will tell you, the city we live in, we're never going to say it on YouTube because we're going to have people hunt us down. I don't know what your opinion is. It is not the same city, because we had cowtown ranchers, retired people, people who like to go on hikes, mountaineer people, a little bit of liberals here, but dude, it is definitely different now. Transgenders are coming into the business more and more and more. That's fine. I'm okay with whatever. But we're having more and more just a totally different vibe. And my concern is, and because we swing, we're not swingers. We're not. But a swing state, because it goes back and forth. My concern is these people are moving in to these cities and they're going to vote like they did at home. And I just want to rant. You done did fuck up where you came from. Don't do it in these cities you're moving in. Yeah. That's what's one of my fears for Florida and Texas. It really is. That's one of my fears is because people left New York, they left California, they left Oregon, they left Washington to go to other places where they could actually go to work, where they could open up businesses, where they didn't have to worry about the pandemic so much. And I think that was almost a scam of the pandemic. I think they want to spread these ideas throughout the country. How do we take over and get people to think our way and see our way, and let's break everything up? Because you know what? I can guarantee you most people are going to move, and they don't know what they're doing when they vote. I'll just tell you this one story real quick. I want to get your opinions on this. And before anyone gets butthurt on this, because I talk to a lot of people and I hear some of the same stories, but this one conversation I had is where somebody had complained about the Republicans and conservatives about abortion and welfare. And I've actually had this conversation like 10 times this last month because of everything that was going on with the abortion and all the problems and the leak.
Yeah.
So, so their argument was that the Republicans need to figure out what works better because they can't have it both ways. So in other words, these people cannot afford to have children. They're in bad situations, so it's a woman's right to have an abortion and or have birth control was the main argument, actually more so than abortion. And so their complaint was the Republicans don't want to pay for it. They want, they do believe the Republican, like everyone should pay for it basically. And if they don't want to do that, well, then there's welfare. Welfare takes care of these kids that are unwanted and takes care of these mothers that went ahead and had, the kids. The breeders. And so so the argument was they have to pay for one or the other. They can't have it both ways. And then out of the same, and I'm telling you, dude, I keep having this conversation a little different. It varies a little bit. Sometimes it starts off with taxes, sometimes it doesn't. And so a few of these people talk about how they do work under the table. They don't like to document all of everything they make, and they like to skip out on a lot of stuff because of these people keep distracting me. So, anyways, sorry, folks. We have a window, and people kept coming up to see us to see what we're doing. We're on the. Anyways, so on welfare. So, anyway, this person was complaining about the reason why I don't have business license and why I do a lot of stuff underground is because the taxes and everything they have to pay by the end of the year, they would barely make anything. And then their spouse has a lot taken out of their check. And then there's all these things they have to pay for and this and that and the other. I mean, the conversation goes on and on. And I just kept my mouth shut because I've gotten to a point I don't argue anymore. I just want to get online and rant. I'm not even going to answer some of the rants on here. But I'm just like, but you basically have the same exact arguments as the conservatives or the Republicans. You basically, it's just you're putting it a different way. You're saying the Republicans have to pay for one or the other, but then you yourself are upset with the taxes and the fees and everything that goes on with owning a business and working. And you're complaining, so I just refuse to do it. Well, in the same exact way, see, where you're just throwing it out there and you don't even have a solution for this problem you're talking about, I will take the Republican side on this. We need to cut this, this, and this. You're on your own on this. That's basically what they're saying, because basically that is what you are saying. I mean, that is what you're saying. If you have a problem paying taxes and you don't want to pay those fees, and you don't, and I know a lot of people argue, well, this fee goes to this fee goes to that, this tax goes to this tax goes to that. Yes, but they all go to social programs. Everything, the street's a social program. Police officers are a social program. Am I correct on this? So you cannot sit there and dog Republicans for not wanting to be a part of social programs and pay for social programs, but then you yourself, you don't want to pay for taxes. You basically have the same exact argument, which makes my argument tonight with elections coming up. Are you going to vote correctly? Do you know what you're talking about when you vote? Do you understand these issues when you vote? Or are you just going to get this emotion like, I'm going to vote Democrat because like women have a choice? Well, no, if you have a problem paying taxes and you don't want higher taxes, there's certain programs you don't want paid for, you're going to have to vote for a conservative that's against all that. I hate to tell you, if you want to keep your business open and don't want it shut down, you may have to vote for somebody that's not very nice. So I mean, that's my rant. That's my rant, because I see our city falling apart. We have traffic that takes like almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through now, where it was before like 20 minutes. Because all you idiots that didn't know how to vote correctly and run your cities the correct way just decided just to leave them like you leave your marriages and you leave your kids and everything else and start over somewhere else and screw that up too. So,
well, I think that's part of the problem is people don't know what they're voting for. You know, hell, half the time the politicians don't even know what they're voting for. I mean, I like to read, you know, but what was the last bill? How many thousands of pages was the last bill they tried to pass? You know, who reads all that shit? I mean, most of these politicians are kind of ex-lawyers and stuff. They know the art of doublespeak and stuff, and there's a lot of pork in these bills and stuff, and most people have no clue what the hell they're even voting for anyway. Most people don't even know that Democrats are for slavery. You know, it was the first Republican president that stopped slavery. You know, but if you watch the other news, they kind of don't show you that part, and most people aren't informed enough. They don't have the want to even go out and research it themselves. They'll just accept whatever the news tells them to accept. You know, the Republicans are bad, Democrats are good.
And see, I feel like they talk about emotional stuff. I feel like they don't go into like, you want to feed your family? Do you want your daughter starving? I know you want your daughter to have a right to get an abortion. That's great. I get it. But are you going to vote for people that are just about that? Are you going to vote, you know, are you going to maybe consider, well, you know, this person's for abortion, but man, this person that's getting in office, we're probably going to have $2 gas. Food prices are probably going to come down, you know, which is probably never going to happen again. I don't know who's going to be able to come in and fix all this. But I mean, are you voting? Because part of voting, people understand this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. People can correct me if I'm wrong. Part of voting is a part of a system that's like a business. Yeah. America is a business.
It needs to be run like
you work a business. You like to eat. You don't want somebody else rationing food for you. You want to have control of your medications. You want to have control of, you can get up at midnight and crap in a toilet and take your time, look on the phone, and maybe sit there for half an hour, make sure it's all empty and flush it, and you can, you know, you can pay for your water, and you like to just kind of come and go as you please. Once that's taken away from you, you don't get to flush the toilet anytime you want to. You don't get to have your bread anytime you want to. And if your daughter's starving, what you're going to do is do what they do in these other countries. You're just going to to sell her off to the highest bidder that will, go ahead and have her as a sex slave. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand what you're voting for? But no, I don't like that one guy. He's mean. He won't go to the gay pride event. He's just a mean person. Wages are high and prices are low, but I don't know, man. He doesn't wave that flag on his car when he drives around.
And America is kind of a business, and it should be run more like a business, with logic in your head, not your heart and emotion. That's kind of what kids do, right? When you're younger, when you're a teen boy, and that guy's looking at your girlfriend, and he grabs your girlfriend's arm, and you hit the guy. That's little kid shit. When you grow up, you kind of use your head a bit more than your heart. Emotions kind of shouldn't really come into play when it's about leading a country and taking care of the people. How do emotions help with that? I can't see it. I see logic as a better leader. Sorry.
And that leads me to my final point, or our final point. We never discussed this, and I'm gonna get lots of hate. I'm probably gonna get banned for this one.
Here goes.
Here we go. We got to do something about the voting. Because what I just said earlier about the mental illness is taking over the country, I almost feel like to vote. Make it easy. Because I know it's going to offend people. Because I think evidently you're racist if you have to have an ID to vote, I guess, right?
You need an ID to buy a beer,
we call it
buy
racist. I don't know if
smokes.
anyone really believes that, honestly. I'm probably going to get some troll that says that is racist.
Yeah.
But I think we should have a basic cognitive test.
No.
I'm sorry. Does everyone have a right to vote? This is just my opinion. I am not trying to start any conspiracy theories. And my statement to that is no. If you don't understand economics and you don't understand how the country works and you don't understand what Republicans or Democrats stand for, and I'm not even saying I'm against Democrats. I'm just saying if you don't understand what they stand for, I'm not saying you have to know the absolute depths. I'm just saying just basic. Just basic one or two questions. Just stupid. Just stupid. Make it something you can learn in kindergarten and you can carry with you the rest of your life. Just something simple, nothing that complicated. Do you understand 2 + 2? Do you understand just a few basic questions? Okay, you are qualified to vote. Because the thing is, you vote because you want a result to happen, and you're not just you really want somebody making decisions for you. Because voting, somebody else is making a decision for you. Do you really want even liberals right now? They're probably getting mad at me. Do you really want someone that shits their self and paints with crayons on the wall and doesn't know left from right? Do you really want them voting to make decisions that will affect your life? Think about it for reals. I don't even like having the government make decisions for us, but you're entrusting someone that cannot understand how to wipe their own ass to make a decision to choose a man or a woman to see over you and see what you do. You don't think the government takes advantage of that? One reason why I absolutely think you should be qualified to vote is because I think it's taken advantage of. I absolutely do think. I think it's absolutely taken advantage of.
The simple-minded people?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, maybe another question, too, is do you know who you are? Because if you're confused about that, maybe you shouldn't be voting for someone to rule the country, Nothing against anybody out there that's in these groups, but, yeah, confusion. If you're confused, you don't even understand. Because you have a dick, you go in the guy's bathroom. If that's out of your mind, you don't understand that, and you think you should go to the girls, maybe you shouldn't vote. Maybe it's just better for all of us if you don't.
And that, my friends, is Sideshow America, and I'm sure we pissed off a lot of people. And let me tell you something, we're going to have to start getting thick skin. Yeah, and
Yes,
because
sir.
I guarantee we just... But, I'll tell you why. Let me tell a quick story, and then we're going to be done to sign off the show. One reason why I don't care, and I keep telling this story, and every time the tech ruins this story. So I know you've heard this 100 times, but I want to get it out to the people that follow us and watch us, and the people that want to talk. I'm going to say I don't care because I used to be a liberal, and I used to be Democrat. I used to have a problem with religious people, which I don't have a problem with anymore because they have shown they are the sane. It's like when Joel Osteen looks like the sane one in 2022, you guys got problems, bro. You guys got problems.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't understand what happened with Joel Osteen, look up Joel Osteen's church this last week. Okay. What's the date today? June 10th, 2022. Just look it up. Okay. What? So that's all I'm going to say. But again, on social media, during the BLM riots, there was, even here in our city, we had people pull out of the cars and beaten, and we had a lot of innocent women pulled out and beaten, and then there's videos of women being pulled out of their businesses and beaten. There's also black women that had worked their whole life to own a Subway sandwich shop in New York that had their sandwich shop burned down. And then there was black. I'm dividing race right now. There's the black family. I can't remember what city it was in. I'll look it up and have it on our next show. Yeah, I don't know if you recall it. They picked up their daughter from, I think, a friend's house. Either going from a friend's house to a swim lesson or from swim lesson to a friend's house. They managed to drive into a riot. They weren't expecting it there. They backed out. They opened fire on their car and killed their kid. This is a black family, and it killed a black girl. Okay? And some of the statements I made is just like, it was shocking as hell to me that people are accepting this violence, killing these children, and beating up these women. Because what are we taught in this country? Poor blacks are oppressed, and everyone's against women, right? That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. Well, we're having women beaten and black children shot. Nobody cares because something bad happened to George Floyd. And I made that statement that we're absolutely losing our minds over this. And over that, I lost connections with venues. I had people that wouldn't talk to me anymore. I had people that cut me off. I had people that would no longer network with me. And I do entertainment for a living. I had lost a lot over me curious what's going on here. I never said anything bad about Black Lives Matter. I never said anything bad about the Democratic Party. As a matter of fact, I was on their side and used to shit talk Donald Trump. But because I asked that simple question, I've lost almost everything. So that's why if you want to judge me, go fuck off. I don't care. Because I was also called transphobic. I was called racist and a bigot. And I'm just simply asking, what does this have to do with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter? Why are we killing black children, black security guards, and burning down black-owned businesses for Black Lives Matter? And what does beating women have to do with that? No feminist step forward about this. Nobody with real black rights step forward like, hey, we're destroying our own people. Everyone just kind of sat there, and if you weren't part of the cult and didn't think like they did, it was absolute insanity. So, what are you supposed to do? You're like, you're trying to find a problem solution. I think something about 2020, like I said, opened up an insanity. It opened up a mental illness. Like, there's a mental illness foaming, waiting to get out. And I think 2020 with the pandemic and the riots, it was like, let's go for it. Let's just go for it. Let's let it out. Let's go for it.
Unleashed it on the world. That's the horrible thing, man. Yeah, where were the feminists to help the ladies? If Black Lives Matter, why are you killing your own people? It kind of doesn't make sense. I think it was politics, but that's just my opinion. So.
Yeah, make sure to say just your opinion and not fact. Yeah. We're probably this episode's probably gonna get banned because we talked about. But I think people. I think people need to start speaking up about this stuff though. Not fighting. Like really having a somewhat educated opinion. Like, hey, you're fine the way you are. Like, transgender, you're fine the way you are. I just don't want to shove down my throat. Mormons, I don't want you shoved. Don't show up at my doorstep. Don't come on my business and want me and ask me to call you they. I'm not going to. And don't come into my business and pass me pamphlets about Jesus. I don't want either one of you in here. Go do something with yourself.
Yeah. You can believe in whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. And then I can believe in what I want. Just accept it. You want to accept that? If you want me to accept you, you have to accept me. That's it.
And on that note, if you manage to sit through the show, we appreciate you. I think there's at least probably one of you, and you're probably a relative.
We can celebrate that mental illness.
And exactly. We have a mental illness because we think we have something important to say online. And we're just saying the same shit everybody else is. What are we doing with ourselves? We should go lift it up. Go for a hike or something. Or I don't know. Go, I wonder if there's like a trans strip club somewhere in our city. What do you think?
If not now, there will be soon.
Yeah,
I can guarantee it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind.
Like a Star Wars cantina bar kind of scene.
Oh, see, there you go. I
can handle that.
I don't know,
Send
man.
in the scouts.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for Sideshow America.
We'll see you guys next time.
Have fun.